Hello, I'm Colleen Holder and this is Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're at the Sandy Point Hotel in Crown Point. Now this is a family-owned business which sits on just over 1 acre of land bought by Michael Small in the 1980s. He started off with a few apartments which have now grown into a village of sorts, comprising suites and studio apartments with a restaurant, a couple of bars and this swimming pool right behind me. This hotel is just a stone's throw away from the A&R Robinson International Airport, so guests have only to walk or drive a short distance to get here. But we'll tell you more about this place right after we tell you what's happening in our stories this week. Tobago's male students are making a comeback. A boy claims the top SCA spot, ending a reign the island's girls enjoyed 2 years in a row. SRPs with special postings. We'll tell you where the new police recruits will be going and using Capoeira to transform lives on the island.
Tobago, ready to provide your community with the highest degree of professional services in emergency response. Contact Search Mariah at 660-0065 or Search Speyside at 660-6096. Search 24-hour services, emergencies, medical or other. Search Pro, the new face of emergency management.
Welcome back. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago and we're here at Sandy Point Hotel in Crown Point. Guests can stay here for as little as one night to a weekend or for that matter as long as they want, and the macaw in the background will keep them company. Now there are 20 air-conditioned suites and 25 studio apartments. And what's more, every other thing this place doesn't have can be found a short distance away. Not surprising that it's called a village. And away from this village, another community in Tobago must be celebrating, and with good reason. One of their own ended St. Andrew's Anglican's winning streak. That school had produced Tobago's top SCA student for 2 consecutive years. But that changed in 2014. Jevaughn Bruce from the North Regional SDA Primary School is Tobago's top SCA student. The last time a boy secured this spot was in 2012. And as Kisan Braffett tells us, Jevaughn and this batch of SCA students have also shown marked improvement.
11-year-old Jevaughn scored just over 240 marks, which is about 6 points behind the girl that topped the country. This places him in the top 200 nationally.
I feel good because it comes like a surprise to come in the top for Trinidad too.
Jevaughn will attend Bishop's High School. He credits his teacher Arian Ford Roach and his parents with his success, saying they always ensured he stayed the course.
I remember when sometimes I would come home and I want to go outside and play football. My daddy would always be like, Jevaughn, you know your formulas, Jevaughn, you know your pronouns, you know your verbs, you know all that, you know.
Jevaughn's teacher says she expected nothing less from him.
I feel very proud. I feel very proud for the school, for Jevaughn, for his parents, because everybody just expected that Jevaughn would have done well because how he does his work on a day-to-day basis. He doesn't falter. He's just there on top of his work. No problem with homework. Everything that is required, Jevaughn produces.
The Hope Anglican Primary School has also done well, securing the 2nd and 3rd positions. Cherise Antwine placed 2nd, while her schoolmate Ronishelle Roberts placed 3rd. Cherise shared her recipe for success and gave some advice to the next batch of students writing the SEA.
To stop playing so much and study real hard, because before I never liked to study. But now I really love to study since it got me right here.
Ronishelle was lost for words but managed this.
So happy that I can't even explain it. Miss Nelson, she helped me a lot and she kept pushing me. No matter how much I failed, she was always there to encourage me.
Ronishelle and Cherise will also attend Bishop's High School come September. Just under 900 students wrote the SEA in Tobago this year, and the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport is reporting that the island saw an improvement in the number of schools performing above the national average. I'm Kisam Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
Let's stay with the education theme a while longer. Now, whether it's in the food you eat, driving your car, taking a walk, or even sitting down to watch TV, there's a common thread, and that's science. The effects and benefits are all around us and shape almost every moment of our lives. But as important as it is, the numbers tell a different story. There's decreasing interest in science among school children. Science enthusiasts are trying to change this, looking at ways to stimulate more interest in this fascinating subject area, and they're doing it through a science spelling bee competition. More from Omadar Mills.
Biocenosis. B-I-O-C-O-E-N-O-S-I-S. Biocenosis.
That's correct.
20 pupils from 5 primary schools on the island made it to the first annual Science Spelling Bee competition because they were able to spell
anoxia. A-N-O-X-I-A. Anoxia.
That is correct.
Cryptosporidium. C-R-Y-P-T-O-S-P-O-R-I-D-I-U-M. Cryptosporidium.
But the competition is more than this. There's also a category where the pupils work as a group to complete a puzzle in a specified time, and this teaches them the importance of collaborating.
We didn't want to make it to be like what they are accustomed to, the normal spelling bee. It's all for fun. But in all things, we want to create teamwork, teach them how to work as a unit, as well as an individual, knowing that in all this, you are supposed to represent your school. So what you do, individual or group reports. So that is one. And the second thing is that we didn't want to make it a one-man business or show.
The Glamorgan Seventh-day Adventist Primary School topped all the schools in both the group and individual categories. Second place winner in the individual category is Ariel De Freitas of Signal Hill Government Primary. Her teacher, Maria Roberts, tells us why she liked this competition.
I think it's an excellent idea. I think it's quite a challenge for the students. And I like the fact that it's not only for the Standard 5 student, but it goes all the way down to Standard 2, I think. Because today we have students from 3, 4, and 5 in the team for Signal Hill.
St. Nicholas Private Primary and Blackrock Government Primary placed second and third respectively in the group categories. A total of 25 schools participated in this Science Spelling Bee, which was organized by the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport. I'm Omadar Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're moving away from the classroom to journey to the workplace. Now, many of us spend a minimum of 8 hours there every day, so it's therefore important that the spaces we occupy are safe and pose no threat to our health and well-being. But Tobago wants to go a step further to ensure that those standards are sensible and practical and don't get in the way of productivity. Here's how this has been achieved.
Recognising the benefits of sharing a common mission to contribute to the prevention of occupational accidents and disease, the Occupational Safety and Health Agency will sign a memorandum of understanding today with the Tobago House of Assembly.
Read, signed, and ready for implementation across the divisions of the Tobago House of Assembly and all industrial establishments in Tobago.
The MOU does give us a little wider scope, right? But we have to work in collaboration with the US agency because the Department of Occupational Safety and Health in the THA really focuses on the THA, but we have to recognize that it's not only the THA in Tobago, there are a number of other businesses and things like that operating in Tobago.
This Memorandum of Understanding between the Occupational Safety and Health Agency and the Tobago House of Assembly will ensure high safety and health standards does not get in the way of productivity and efficiency while addressing employee rights and issues.
The promoting and development of a safe and healthy working environment throughout the THA and the planning and implementation of THA OSH programs and projects. The OSH agency's MOU with the THA will therefore mean an emphasis on enforcement policies and procedures.
Both parties will work together to achieve objectives for safety, health and welfare of all employees on the island.
Given the fact that we do not have the powers of dealing with enforcing code enforcement, which is under the agency, because they have the responsibility to, if they need to carry someone to court, they can take them to court. But we don't have that sort of authority, and therefore we work alongside with the agency in dealing with matters outside of the THA, and also in the THA too, where we have problems that we need to rectify.
Mr. Alfred says the two organizations will be implementing projects soon, including an island-wide outreach program. And a joint committee will also be formed for the management of the Memorandum of Understanding. This is something that the Chief Secretary supports, as he says ensuring that the island sustains practices that lead to safer workplaces and communities is imperative. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're taking a break, but coming up, we'll tell you about the plan to assign special reserve police officers to the Tobago House of Assembly. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for staying with us here at Sandy Point Hotel. Now, this place is not to be confused with Sandy Point Beach Club, although it's right next door. Here, you can take part in any number of water sports, from deep-sea diving, snorkeling, sailing, you name it. It's also in close proximity to Store Bay, which is one of the access points to Gupper Reef, glass-bottomed boats and the famous nylon pool. If you want to visit Pigeon Point, well, no worries. Sandy Point Hotel provides a free shuttle service to those facilities. But by now, you should be excited by the possibilities, options that are part of this island's biggest revenue earner, tourism. Because Tobago is so dependent on this sector, a crime-free environment is a big deal. Yet time and time again, concern has been raised about the lack of a security plan that's specific to this island's needs. But as Davia Chambers tells us, there is hope. A plan will be presented to the Commissioner of Police by none other than his bosses, the Police Service Commission.
When the Chief Secretary Orville London met with the Police Service Commission, they discussed policies and programs which can be implemented to meet the distinctive needs of the island.
We think there should be adequate policing resources put to have that operational plan for Tobago efficiently and effectively applied.
But that's not all. The Commission will also be making a second pitch which deals with security on the island.
To have not only an ACP in charge of Tobago policing, but more fundamentally to have a Deputy Commissioner of Police with all the commensurate responsibilities and autonomy that the operational plan will require.
But these are just proposals. But as the Tobago House of Assembly awaits their implementation, the police service has already taken steps to strengthen its manpower on the island, starting with a recruitment drive for special reserved police officers who will be assigned to the Assembly.
To be a member of the SRP Police, you are given an opportunity to serve in the police service, to provide some form of community service. In the whole, we are involved in the whole aspect of protecting and serving. And at this time, we are involved in the whole aspect of crime fighting. So the SRP generally have the added responsibility of serving in the SRP and providing some form of community service.
The police service will choose 50 persons to begin training as SRP officers in August. The Chief Secretary has been pushing for a special crime plan for Tobago, one that's sensitive to the island's economic and social situation. He says Tobago's tourism sector demands better surveillance of tourism sites and that there needs to be a greater focus on tourism-oriented policing. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
And while they're working on that plan, on the ground there's a worrying trend. There's an increase in the use of marijuana, especially among youths. But the groups you're about to meet aren't waiting for someone else to do something about this problem. They've started a project which is proactive and hopefully more helpful than the usual preachy lectures.
These children are part of the Speyside High School YAM Club, that's Youth Against Marijuana, and they're the first school on the island to have such an organization. Besides being educated about the effects and dangers of marijuana, these youths who will become agents for positive change will also be able to stage culturally relevant activities which will get the message out to the public.
We will organize the staging an annual YAM festival to exhibit youth against marijuana using culture, agriculture, education, culinary arts, visual and performing arts as the machinery to sensitize members of the public.
The initiative is being directed by the Roxborough Police Youth Club, but they are not alone. The Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport is also supporting this venture. And these institutions, along with the police service, are advocating that prevention is better than cure.
You become dependent on the drug. And then you start to want more, like that is not enough now, so you're looking for harder drugs, not so? So then, don't start.
Another support of the project is the Citizens Security Program. The Community Action Officer, Anne-Marie Degazor, says that it's not just about saying no.
As you say no, I want to encourage you to say yes as well. But be very, very pointed and deliberate in the things that you choose to say yes to. So that you may choose to say yes to making positive, healthy lifestyle choices.
Currently, the club at Speyside High has 55 members. It's hoped that the project will spread to other schools and be a proactive measure in eradicating the use of marijuana among youths on the island. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Our youths aren't the only ones seemingly in trouble. Tobagonian men too are in a bit of a pickle. Some of them have been underachieving and shirking their responsibilities. The perfect storm for an intervention. Aviana Alain explains.
When you hear the term macho, immediately there's this imagery, an extremely assertive male, a hunk if you'd like, or even an alpha male. But here in Tobago, this acronym has a slightly different meaning. That is, if you ask anyone from the Division of Community Development and Culture.
I strongly believe that all men, as ordained in the Bible, are our leaders. You are the one who should take this development agenda forward. You are the one who should lead and guide us. You are the one who should take your rightful place as the leaders of Tobago.
Mrs. Webster Roy and her team are targeting males as young as 16 years old. Overall, they want to equip the Tobagonian man with the tools to work on their relationships. Whether it is to be a bit more caring toward their children and spouses, play the role of a supportive partner, or contribute financially to the home. It's unclear how many marriages on this island end because of financial problems, but based on worldwide statistics, the Division of Community Development and Culture wants to be proactive. It's why they're suggesting that men use their talent as a way of obtaining an additional income. The hope is that the Tobagonian male will eventually get into the habit of being vocal, that they would learn to speak openly and freely about their health and well-being, including the taboo issue of depression. But even before the session was over, some of the males in attendance said they've already learned valuable lessons.
I see this as a forum to enhance men's outlook on life, about different aspects that affecting their lives.
When they relate to certain situations that would happen in society, it better help them to understand and be able how to approach it and how to deal with it so that they have a better end result.
The Macho program is an intervention of sorts to help males in Tobago who don't step up in the home and who've been underachieving academically and in the workplace. I'm Aviana Allen for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time to take another break, but on the other side, an educational and cultural tool that keeps you fit. Stay with us if you want to find out what that is. This is Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for staying with us here at Sandy Point Hotel at Crown Point. Now, there's a lot of activity throughout the week as Sandy Point hosts a happy hour from Tuesday to Sunday. Friday nights are rum punch party nights for guests, and that's spiked with local entertainment. The hotel's restaurant carries a varied menu, and for those concerned with giving back, this is just the place to eat. Sandy Point Hotel supports local fishermen, insisting on buying fish and lobster that are caught in Tobago waters. Now, undoubtedly, patriotism is great, but few can deny the value of venturing out, exploring the world around us. It's a great learning experience, and in this case, it's credited with instilling a sense of respect, discipline, and self-control. What are we talking about? Well, our next story takes us to Brazil, not for football, but it's a brief journey because although the art form has its origins there, it has found a home in Tobago.
Capoeira Angola, a traditional form of cultural resistance developed in Brazil using African elements. This art form is recognizable in Africa's diaspora, but mostly in those societies that experienced colonialism and enslavement. Now, it's being brought to students in Tobago. But Capoeira Angola is more than a martial art. Its promoters are promising it will particularly benefit youth on this island.
It is a transformative educational and cultural tool that can help individuals discover who they are, awaken their spirits to dream, and reconnect with their history and their place in it, all of which provide a profound platform for growth and development.
Capoeira is credited with instilling a sense of respect, self-control, discipline, inner awareness, and inner strength, as well as an appreciation of history, music, and dance. But the idea is not to simply teach this particular brand of martial arts with Brazilian influences, but rather,
our mission is to build better and more conscientious citizens, and thus stronger and more inclusive communities.
This is an initiative that the Division of Community Development and Culture endorses. This pilot project provides an opportunity for students to connect with their Tobagonian culture, history, and the arts. At its initial stages, the project has included the Signal Hill Police Youth Club. They expressed their gratitude.
This piece of art actually is part of our motto, our constitution, to develop the children in discipline, respect, culturally, in music, and also bringing themselves to that level of awareness, taking them away from that little life that will tickle them to touch crime. So it is a sense of deterrent for us. And we say, Madam Secretary, thank you.
The division hopes that students will take full advantage of this opportunity and that perhaps the project will assist in developing discipline and self-control qualities. I'm Kissan Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
Right now, the world is tuned into football, giving the Roxborough Police Youth Club the perfect opportunity to get our young people engaged and interested in the game. But off the field, there's an underlying strategy. Keep the Tobagonian youth off the block and away from a life of crime. Betty Ann Bigart explains.
Footballers take pride in their teams and the trophy they win. These footballers in Roxborough are no different. Roxborough Secondary, Team Belgarden, Lucky 7, Patrol Boys, Youths Against Marijuana, Roll Call, Serious Youths. They are all here to win the coveted league prize, and they came together to do just that.
The Roxborough Police Youth Club Night Football Tournament, as you are well aware, is a proactive crime prevention initiative that has been started for the last 14 years, which seeks to use sports as a machinery against the social ills that penetrates the society. And therefore, we see sports as that machinery to utilize our leisure time in a productive manner.
A sentiment endorsed by Assistant Commissioner of Police for Tobago, Brian Headley.
Sports truly is an avenue to deter young people, especially from a life of crime.
After an enjoyable game of football, teams waited with anticipation for the announcement of the March past winners. Patrol Boys came in third position with 230 points. Youths Against Marijuana in second position with 220 points. And after creating quite an impression, Serious Youths emerged as winner with 232 points and walked away with the trophy. I am Betty Ann Bigard for Let's Talk Tobago.
Tobago's sun, sea and sand environment is great for sporting activities year-round. There's the Dragon Boat Festival, the International Cycling Classic and the Tobago Beach Football Tournament. But those aren't all. As Omar Mills tells us, there's another event attracting its own group of followers to this island. It's also helping to strengthen the island's sport tourism market.
You can swim, bike or run in all three categories or just one as a top athlete or someone who just wants to stay fit. That's the Neil and Massey Rainbow Cup Triathlon, an event which started 10 years ago at Turtle Beach Heritage Park. Over the years, the competition has attracted participants from the Caribbean region as well as Europe and Latin America.
This is my second triathlon internationally, and I thought it was very strong. I mean, the weather is like really hot, really humid, but got the job done, so can't complain.
The president and group CEO of the Massey Group, Jevaughn, is happy that the competition is growing and says that the event helps persons participate in positive recreational activities.
It is continuing to attract more and more athletes. It's continuing to draw more and more families, bringing more of us out to exercise and live healthier lives. And that's what it's all about, participating, having fun with family, being safe on the roads.
The competition is helping to develop sport tourism on the island, even for top athletes who can compete in the Olympic distance triathlon category, an aspect of tourism which the THA is seeking to develop.
We are very, very glad that the sport tourism niche has really shown promise. We'd like to see this event grow to an international event, even beyond what it is, a bigger event. And I'm sure with Massey and THA, we could certainly look at a big 2015 Rainbow Triathlon.
Since its inception, the Tobago House of Assembly has been one of the main sponsors of the event. I'm Omar Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, our viewers. This is one of Tobago's busiest periods. Many come to this island to spend their July-August vacation and would prefer if their entry and exit are hassle-free. No one looks forward to camping out at the airport and dealing with delays and cancellations, but that's exactly what will happen if there continue to be issues with the state-owned Caribbean Airlines CAL. On July 1st, the airline was forced to issue a statement explaining that all of its international as well as domestic flights would be affected because most of its pilots participated in a sick-out. So today we're asking, given the importance of tourism to Tobago, should the THA have a say in the operations of CAL? This is what you said.
Yes, they need to have, because they will have a lot of input, at least not 100%, but they could have at least 60-75% interest.
I feel they should have an interest and see it is run properly.
Yes, sure. Because Tobago is a tourism destination.
Of course they should, because that's part of us.
And that's how we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. Remember, you can send us your comments or queries on anything you've seen in this program to information@tha.gov.tt or visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Colleen Holder, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. And as we go, we leave you now with some final scenes from the Sandy Point Village.